Hello everybody, it's Sandi Clarkson here for My Creative Scrapbook, and I'm sharing with you the unboxing video for our September limited edition kit. It's kind of hard to get that word September out of my mouth. The year is flying by. Anyway, I just got my design team package today, and I wanted to go ahead and share with you everything that's in the kit that you'll be receiving if you've got the limited edition subscription, or if you're lucky enough to grab a kit. Anyway, the base of our kit this month is Prima Marketing's Cherry Sweet Collection, and this was designed by Frank Garcia. And I've known Frank for a long time. He and I used to design together at the Flying Unicorn long before he ever went into a collaboration and began designing for Prima. So that's how I know him. And so I like to watch him when he goes live and reveals new collections. And when he did this one, he talked about a couple of things that he, brought back, if you will. And one was this little girl, or I kind of pulled her out from the ephemera. She was in the strawberry milkshake collection and was really popular. And so he brought her back for this cherry sweet collection. And then also you're going to see some images throughout some of the papers and so forth of this little dog, Holly, and that's Frank's dog. And so, Holly gets to make an appearance in the collection as well. So I thought that was really kind of neat and interesting. But anyway, there's lots of pink, feminine, romantic papers in this collection. And they're perfect for a variety of things, especially for cards and tags and mini albums and that kind of thing. Using them for 12 by 12 layouts is, can be a little more convoluted because there's a lot of collage and that kind of thing. But it's certainly doable. But they do lend themselves really well to those smaller types of projects. Anyway, this sheet right here is called All I See Is You. And we've got the cherries, we've got our little girl, a hedgehog, and then, the books and florals and the hot air balloon. But there's a beautiful mix of a tealy mint color along with the pink, and of course our cherries because it's cherry sweet. On the back side of that, we have a beautiful turquoise sheet with the small florals on it that's really pretty. It's perfect for backgrounds or borders or just anything to kind of play against the other papers. So there's a lot of use for that one right there. This one right here is called No Other Place, and it's kind of a collage. You could make this into tags, but it's a little bit more collage style, but definitely lots of items here to fussy cut if that's what you would like to do. There's frames, the hot air balloon, the florals again, the little girl picking the cherries, and then lots of these little motto type things that are throughout, and some music paper, which I really like to use in my projects as well. The back of this is gorgeous. This is our cherries along with peonies and roses, and there's just this minty color along with the pink and some music paper, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. The papers are nice and heavy this time. I really like that. Let's see, let's go to this side. This is called A Never Ending Daydream. And here's Holly again, and it's Pink Cherry Skies with You is what it says. These little pieces look like they'll be a lot easier to fussy cut if you want to use these as embellishments on your project. Very easy to just trim around there. Isn't she sweet? The little rabbit. So the Fairies Festival. And the back side of that one is just, heartthrob. I love this paper. It looks very textured, kind of like peeling paint. And then with all the little butterflies on it, along with the floral clusters and this floral with the cherries down here. This is just probably my favorite paper of the collection. And I'm going to have to really think about how I incorporate it. And, do I want to give up this stuff on that side over there? So anyway, that's a beautiful one. And it is called, it's A Never Ending Daydream. This one here, let's turn it over. It's called Thoughts from My Heart. And again, we've got some cut aparts here. These are definitely more in, you know, tag or cut apart format. There's our little holly again. And then we've got butterflies, rabbits, hedgehogs, and then this kind of, you know, moonlit vintage picture that you see a lot out there in our industry. And then on the back side, there's really pretty pink polka dot, and it's got this huge bow up in the right-hand corner, and then the florals with a butterfly, and then some stems with some cherries down here, and then over here some text and butterfly and heart. So really beautiful sheet of paper. This one's called Dreaming of Pink Skies, and this is another collage, but this is kind of a framed area right in here with a little, you know, faux safety pin up there. And these down here, a couple little hedgehog guys. And down here it says, when life doesn't feel like a dream anymore. And then this over here, some florals, some text, postage stamps, lots of different things there to use in your project. On the back side, this is more just a multi-layered, kind of mixed media looking page with some damask in the background, butterflies, text and kind of newspaper type print, some of the cherries down here. So this is good to use for contrast or to use as a background page. This one here is called In a Daydream, and we've got more of a pink back here with some splatters on it, a little white framed in piece, and then, I kind of see where our cut file's coming from now. We've got some like book pages or just old paperwork and some cherries, little like 5 cents or whatever, and the little clip. Down here we've got a little fairy riding a bunny rabbit. So cute, cute, cute. And on the back, gorgeous again, we've got our cherries with the kind of the mint and the pink and the polka dots and, you know, kind of like splatters throughout. So that is a really pretty paper. These are going to be so hard to cut into, right? All right, this one's called All the Stars Shine for You, and this is kind of a blow up of some of those cut aparts that we've seen, or, you know, like the wax seals, butterflies on music, you know, old shop note kind of things. She would be good as a photo or accent on one of your projects if you didn't have a photo of your own to use. And then on the back, we've got pink along with black and white, or this is more gray. So it's more pink and gray, I guess, with black splatters. So that would be, it's kind of, you know, a diagonal effect. And it's really pretty. And I'm excited to figure out how to use that one. This one here is called Set Me Free. And I believe this is the last one of the Prima set. And again, we have a collage. I was really drawn to this little saying right here where it said, it's okay to feel lost sometimes. But there's some other ones. I still think your love will set me free. Definitions, you know, shop notes. And this time we've got the little fairy riding a fox. And this is kind of like one of our major backgrounds that you'll see throughout. So lots there. And then this page is the Fussy Cutter's Dream. Loads and loads of butterflies and lots of cherries. So if you like to fussy cut, this would be your thing right here. Although you don't have to, you can just use this as a background page or a page in a mini album, however you like. And then also Pam included this sheet from American Craft, and the name of it is, it's called Love Letters, A Perfect Match. And so this sheet is more just your layered letter collage, you know, for journaling type elements here, copies of letters and that kind of thing. On this side, we've got the pink background with white hearts. And so this would be really good to, play against the papers. And so I think this paper would be one that you might gravitate to versus this one here, but either one is going to work. And then the branding strip on this one has the little arrows there, which would be really cute, especially if you're doing anything with a love or, Valentine kind of theme. So those are the papers. And before I get into the embellishments, let me just go ahead and share with you the cut file and the sketch. I've cut out this cut file. Our kits went out so quickly that Pam didn't have time to cut our cut files. So this one is a little bit more than probably 10 by 10. And so you can make it smaller. I did make my first one significantly smaller. And as I was taking it off the mat, I tore it a little bit. So do be careful if you do, if you don't use the one included in your kit and you go to the member section and grab the cut file. I did kind of break that corner right there, but that would be if you wanted to make it, that small. That's more of a 6 by 6. So anyway, I'll probably use something like this, but we shall see because I don't know yet. And then this is going to be our sketch for the month. And we're, again, reaching out to Laura Whitaker of Laura Creates 50 on Instagram. So this is going to be a great, 3 photo project, or you could even use the circular element as a 4th photo if you want to. And then your title piece down there. So I really like that sketch. That's going to be fun to use. All right, so let's look at our embellishments. These we will have to come back to, but these are, we get a package of the Cherry Sweet Ephemera Daydreams, and there's 90 pieces in here. Usually Prima puts 2 of each of the elements in there. So I will get some black cardstock and divide those up at the end of the video, and we will take a look at all of those. We also get, I counted these twice, there's 14 or 15 tags. The back side of the tags are this, blue floral, but there's some beautiful images here. Isn't that beautiful with the flowers always, and the sweet little hedgehog with the bow, and cherries picking you always, the little goose or swan. Here's our little girl, the hot air balloon and the cherries, that textured background and butterflies. It's like traveling without moving when I am with you. These could definitely be used for Valentine's if you wanted. I saw you in every star. There's Holly, the bunny rabbit, some text, more florals. Yeah, starting over again, sorry. All right, so let's look at the florals right here. We get 2 packages of Prima flowers, and this group right here has some mixed sizes. There's 10 pieces. I'd say half of them are very dimensional. There's four of them that are more flat. These were originally from the Love Notes collection, but the colors match perfectly. So those will be fun. These right here are actually from the Cherry Sweet collection, and these are smaller florals with little gold centers. So these are going to be perfect for tucking in. I really like to use that size of floral myself. All right, let's look at the other items. We have a stencil this month. This one is an 8x8, and it is from Stamperia. So there's a couple of butterflies, let's see, in the center, and then there's a heart shape there, and then along the edge you've just got some cherries, and then what does this say? Move and live. So we've got some text up at the top, so that will be a fun stencil to use in our projects. Then we have a stamp that's from Studio Light, and I hope you can see it there. There's an oval shape with florals around the edges. There's some florals in the center that you can use separately. There's a couple of titles. This one says, "Get Well Soon, Lovely." Here Comes the Sun, and then there's a couple of sizes of hearts. So this one's called Oval Blossom. So that'll be fun. That would be great for stamping on white cardstock and then cutting it out and using it, making cards and that kind of thing. Oops. All right, then we've got some chipboard. This one is from Prima and is the Cherry Sweet collection. We've got the little girl and holly, butterfly bow, some letters, hedgehogs, some dictionary stuff, parcel or hedgehog, hearts, the cherries, little title pieces, word phrases, and then here's the little girl with the braids from Strawberry Milkshake. I don't know if she has a name. Then kind of a frame, a circular element, hot air balloon and butterfly, the hedgehog, the rabbit, butterflies and hearts, and more word phrases down there. Those are all going to work perfectly because they do coordinate with the papers. And then we have some more chipboard. This is from Stamperia, and these are going to pair nicely. The color scheme is very similar. So we've got lots of circular and oval elements, some with phrases, always and forever, choose love. Every flower is a soul blossoming in nature, in love with beauty. So this is a heart shape. And then we've got several different butterflies and a little collection of flowers. So anyway, there's a lot in this kit. I have some photos picked out, but I haven't decided yet what goes where, so that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna get a piece of black cardstock and I'm gonna open up the die cut ephemera and we're gonna look at all that. So hang on just a moment for me. Okay, I'm back and got everything quickly undone and some over here to the side. But keep in mind that everything here is doubled. For example, the little hedgehog right there, you know, there's two of them. So that's how we get the 90 pieces. And even the packaging has this pink polka dot with kind of a mint lace on the edge and then that pretty little bow. So, you know, even the packaging can be used on a project. But over here, there's lots of little word phrases or titles. A lot of them must be in French. I took Latin, so I don't know French, but there is some English here. Things like, and suddenly you made my heart smile. Here is everywhere I want to be. These are like washi tape with little cherubs on them. It says, because in the right eyes, you will always be art. Plant schedule, let your heart soar. You are the sweetest feeling. I like that. These say Paris. Here's a couple of pink pieces. They're just, you know, torn papers. And then a couple of, you know, dictionary papers that say peaceful or peacemaker, that kind of thing. And then we've got some butterflies up here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kinds of butterflies. And there's 2 of each. And then the hearts, I think there's like about 4 of the pink hearts. And I've counted 2, 3, I'm sure there's another one, 4 of the little green hearts. This is a little girl riding the rabbit, cute. And then some cherries, some smaller cherries there, and a little bit larger grouping of cherries there. The little cute hedgehog, this little girl, she looks perfect even for Christmas. This little girl on the fox. This I'm sure is a swan with a little pink bow. And then here's Holly. The other one is over there in my pile. And this is a little vase of flowers. This is multiple pieces here, but these are like pink frames. And then inside you've got these little letters or envelopes that you can tear out and use on your project. So those are included. There's 2 of those. Then there's these Ace of Spades that's in pink, 2 of those. Along the side here, we've got another frame. They say Perfectly Happy on the side. And then the little hedgehog pops out. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can pop both of them. So now I've got 2 hedgehogs in the frame with the little flowers on it. And of course there's 2 of these. And before I forget to come back, I had this off to the side. This cute, darling little bunny on this little pink, circular element with the little decorative edge. I just love that. That's so cute. And here's that vintage lady here with her florals. That would be great, to stand in as a photograph. And then these little torn ticket type things here with the cherries on them, and it says like mercantile. So that is everything, I believe. I don't think I've covered everything, but like I said, each thing that you see on here, there's 2 of them. Here's the hedgehog. These are the smaller ones that were inside that little group right there. And then there's these pieces that we've torn away. I suppose you could use those as a stencil or something like that if you really want to. So anyway, I'm excited to get started on my kit. We got our kits a little late this month, but I'm excited to get going and see what I can create. There'll be details in the description box below about how to order a kit or how to become a Kit Club subscriber if you're not already. So thanks for coming by for the unboxing, and a shout out to Frank Garcia. You did a beautiful job. I love all of it. And a shout out to Pam Rangel, the owner of My Creative Scrapbook, who puts everything together. So thanks for coming by. Bye-bye.